Okay, this presentation is for Level 1 Business Studies, which supports producer decisions. This is the first lesson. This is introduction to producers. Okay, so to start with, okay, in economics, when we're talking about to produce, we're talking about to create or provide something. Usually, this comes from resources, organization, manipulated, and then making something from those resources. Added to that, an actual producer as a noun is a person or a group of people, more commonly in economics and business, who make or provides goods or services, most commonly referred to as organisations and commonly known as businesses as well. Okay, so every business needs four things, okay, and these are referred to as the factors of production. Now, that's land, labour, capital, and entrepreneurship. To go into a bit more detail, when you're talking about land, you're talking about the premises that an organisation holds. It could be premises, it could be offices, it could be a factory, it could be just a plot of land that they have, but they need to have land. Also, as well, within that land, they may use that land because of the raw materials which are accessible from those things, such as mining, metals, it could be oil, it could be coal, whatever the raw materials may be there. Secondly, labour, probably the most important factor of production, because producers are just groups of people, but no producer or organisation can operate without labour. So it's very often refers to employees, be it skilled, be it semi-skilled, or be it highly skilled. Capital is a term that we commonly refer to just as money. However, it does mean a little bit more than that. Capital tends to imply money which is put into a business to start with the whole idea. You put money into a business, and therefore money should grow out of the business as well. Added to that, capital is also referred to as the equipment. So money put into a business usually utilised to buy equipment to help the production process. And then finally, entrepreneurship is also a very important one. And this is the ability for certain people to form, realise and manage money-making enterprises, or just to be able to organise businesses in a way. So not only just come up with an idea, but be able to see it through and turn it into reality. So these things are referred to as the four factors of production. Okay, so once the resources go into an organisation or go into a business, they therefore get manipulated in a certain way, which after that produces outputs. And these outputs come in two forms: they're either goods or services. Goods are physical products. It could be like a pen, like a pencil case, like a window, like a toy, whatever it may be, but physical products. And a service tends to refer to something which is done to people, customers. However, whatever is the output, the final thing that comes from the process is generically known as production. Okay. Now, added to that one, the production process. So obviously, the producer facilitates or makes that production process as efficient as they possibly can, creating those outputs and resources put in for consumption by consumers or by other businesses as well. So the main reasons why producers exist are hugely varied. However, it does depend on each individual organisation. Most commonly, though, we see a category of organisations who wish to achieve the goals of being financially viable, being able to make enough money to exist into the future, particularly organisations which are quite new and started up after the past maybe 2 or 3 years. Profit maximisation, satisfaction. This is literally trying to make as much profit as possible, or sufficient levels of profit. Nowadays, if a company tends to announce that their objective is to maximise their profits, it tends to be viewed quite negatively and maybe a little bit greedy, which is possibly now why a lot of organisations are referring to this term as satisfying, sufficient levels of profit. Added to that, customer service, market share, increasing your number of customers, offering employment for people is also another reason why producers exist. Some producers exist because it's a lifestyle choice for the owners. Other producers exist because they are keen to provide essential services into society or into the community. Now, generally speaking, you can divide producers into two distinct categories, two umbrella terms. Private sector is owned by private individuals, and this often does have some form of profit motivation, some sort of motivation to make a certain level of profit to allow them to exist and be rewarded for their efforts as well. The second type is a public sector, and this is owned by the public, owned by the government, and it's funded by the public through the taxes that they pay. So a common public sector one is usually very often in New Zealand anything with the word Kiwi in it. So the Kiwi Rail, Kiwi Bank, it tends to imply, not always, but it does tend to imply by the government. Okay, so we also have distinct categories of producers. We have producer cooperatives where small producers get together and they form a larger company. Government departments, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Business and Innovation, local authorities, Wellington City Council, firms, so like private enterprises, welfare organisations such as the Salvation Army, clubs of society, Onslow Football Club, state-owned enterprises, which would be seen as something maybe like Kiwi Rail is a good example. And once again, producer cooperatives that I've already